Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, July 24th through Sunday, July 30th. Welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, we're glad to have you here. Hopefully you will get some information in today's reading that will provide you some insight information to help with your journey. For those of you that have been here, that are current subscribers, glad to have you back. Hopefully you will get information as well. For all of you, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. I do love the feedback and love hearing from all of you. Particularly those, how this is helping with your situation, your journey. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Even though sometimes it does take me a little time to get back to you, I do love hearing from you. So let's see. This is going to be posted actually before the new moon. So for those of you that listen to this on Saturday, the 22nd? Yeah, Saturday the 22nd. You're in luck because you have a little bit of time left. The time that we're going through right now, it's like this big portal gateway. It's a very intense time, and it's been happening since June, and it's going to continue until the end of September. And it is meant for transformation, releasing the old, bringing in the new, preparing us for the new. This time in particular is very pivotal. Many of you very likely noticed with this last full moon, it was extremely intense. The reason for that is because they are trying to prepare us for this new moon that is going to be occurring on Sunday, the 23rd of July. So and for those of you that aren't familiar, full moons are a time to release, let things go. Those things that aren't good for us, aren't serving us, we let those things go so that we can turn around and on a new moon be open to receiving the things that we want to manifest. That's when you'll do a list of the things you want to have in your life, you want to bring to you. Well, what's going to be happening since this time is so intense? This new moon that we're going to be having on Sunday, the things that you wish, that you desire, that you want to manifest, there's going to be a lot of energy behind that enabling you to manifest that, because that new moon energy is going to go clear up until they're calling it the Great American Eclipse. So you're going to be able to bring those things to fruition. Now, double-edged sword. Because if there are things that you still have not released, so maybe you're still holding on anger toward an ex or resentment, and it could also be anger toward someone at work or a family member or a friend. But if you're holding on to anger and you're holding on to resentment and you haven't forgiven someone, you haven't forgiven yourself, you haven't forgiven a situation, or maybe you haven't let someone go, you haven't let a situation go, whatever it is that you are still holding on to, you have to release that by the new moon, because otherwise what you'll be doing is you're going to be manifesting more of that anger. You're going to be manifesting more relationships that aren't working. You will manifest, because it is so powerful, the things that we manifest during this next month, they're huge and they're going to last for years, which is why it's been such a big push. And the energy from the full moon wasn't just your typical 48 hours. The universe, the angels, God, they are helping us release things clear up until we hit the new moon on Sunday. So if you still have things that you need to let go of, people, anger, emotions, resentment, anything that you need to let go of, I encourage you to take the time to sit down, write those lists, write those things, pray, ask that God, Jesus, Archangel Raphael, he does the healing, ask that and for some of you, you need strength to let those things go, because some of you, you're just having a very difficult time letting a person go, or maybe you were really done wrong and you're just not having the strength to be like, okay, I can't forgive them because this is so wrong what they did. Ask Archangel Michael to help you have the strength to do that. But call on them, pray, ask that they help you, because the angels won't help you unless you ask. You have to ask. So ask that they come and help you, release those things, letting those things go so that you have the space open to manifest and bring in the things that you desire. Because if you can let that all go now, and for some of you, you're also going to, you'll find that you'll benefit from taking an Epsom salt bath. So fill the tub up with Epsom salt, soak for about 20 minutes. So maybe you've got a lot of stuff to release, so pray, ask that God, Jesus, the angels come in and help you release it. Burn that list. set it on fire, then go soak in the tub in Epsom salt for about 20 plus minutes. What you'll find is going to bring a lot of emotions to the surface. For some of you, it's actually going to be bringing physical things, because for some of you, the past 2 weeks, you've had a lot of weird physical symptoms that have come up. So for some of you, you're having like weird allergic reactions. For some of you, it could be rashes. For some of you, all of a sudden, like your skin's itching, or you have this blister that popped up, or suddenly you're having really bad pain in your elbow or your wrist. Those things they're all emotionally tied, emotional experiences, but what they're doing is they're trying to trigger, they're trying to release these emotions, because for a lot of you, there's a lot of anger, resentment, hatred, also resentment over the not receiving things that you want, that you're keeping bottled up. And for some of you, they're trying to bring even a divine love into your life. So for some of you, it's letting an ex go. But for some of you, they're even trying to bring a divine love into your life. But because things have been like a yo-yo with that person, you still have some deep-seated anger, or even some deep-seated fear that it's not going to work out. It has to be released in order for you to open up to receiving that person, receiving that situation, receiving that new job. So it's a very, very key point. If you listen to this message before Monday, you have time on Saturday, clear leading up to, I think, take a look. I think the new moon is in the evening. But take a look and see what time the new moon is for you and your time zone. You have up until that point to release the stuff. Highly encourage you to do it. Saturday evening, take an Epsom salt bath. For those of you that are overseas, if you get this Sunday morning, go on ahead and do the same thing, because you do need to clear the slate. You have to have a clean canvas to bring in the things that you desire. And then when we hit that new moon, then that's time for you to start putting together a list of the things that you desire, praying and asking for the things that you desire. And if you have cleared away the old, you will be able to bring those new things in. If you have not cleared away the old, some of you may find that there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of blocks, there's a lot of things that are keeping you from bringing those things to fruition, because with this eclipse energy, this portal way, and we're going to be heading also into the Lion's Gate on August 8th. We've got the eclipse coming up in August. This is going to be intense, clear up until the September equinox. So you'll find that if you haven't released those things, you're going to be like, man, I keep attracting the wrong people. I keep having the wrong relationships. Make sure you do the work. Let the things go that are not good for you, that are not meant for you, that are holding you back. And if you pray and quiet your mind and you just even ask, angels, I need help. What is it that's blocking me? You'll have a thought pop up in your mind. You'll have something that'll just pop up, and that's what you're holding on to. That's what you need to let go of. And then ask them, okay, help me let that go. Help me set myself free so that I can fly, so that I can receive these things that I desire. What you're also going to find on Sunday, the 23rd, with the new moon, a number of us are going to be receiving wake-up calls that are going to come in. And then as we roll into the middle of the week around Wednesday, there's going to be a lot of tests. So, we're clearing the slate. We're wanting to manifest these things. There will be some tests to make sure that we're ready and that we have shifted and that we are fully open to receiving the things that we desire, what makes our heart happy, what brings us love and joy. So be prepared for that. But they're saying most of you are actually ready, so that's good. So that is a good thing. Now let's go ahead and get started. Oh, so I already actually started to record this reading. I did a Lenormand spread with 9 cards. And so I laid out this 9-card Lenormand spread. Oh, it was beautiful. I started doing the reading. It was the exact same story that we've had the past 2 weeks. So for those of you that are in that situation, go back, listen to the past 2 weeks. It's the exact same thing. Change the sexes that are applicable, but essentially a man needs to let go of an ex. There was a lot of deception, lies. But that person's still not being let go of. The situation, things still aren't being taken care of. Things aren't being dealt with. It is detrimental. So for those of you in that situation, the angel have brought that up 3 weeks in a row, which means it is detrimental to your happiness, to your health, to your life, for you to let that go. Let that person go. Finally close that chapter. You guys can watch the past 2 weeks readings to get all the details as to what it's all about, what needs to be done. But with this intense energy that we're going through, again, you know, we're in the final hours of pushing, that we have to let things go that aren't serving us. They're saying for a number of you that are in that situation, that you have stubbornly refused and continue to hold on, you have to, I mean, you're at the final pivotal moment of letting that go, or that drama, that turmoil, that heartache is going to continue to ensue and follow you. And for some of you, could continue for years. And they're saying for a number of you that are in that situation, you want happiness of the heart. You want to get married. You want to have a family. You want to have a happy home. You will not receive it with that person. And you are at a pivotal point that person has to finally be let go of. They're trying to break you free of that, because for most of you, it's a karmic cycle. That person was a lesson. You were supposed to learn something, let them go. You haven't learned that lesson. So if you can't let that person go, like literally imminent, no joke, like now, because this whole gateway stuff that we're going, and again, clearing yourself for the new moon on Sunday the 23rd, so you can be like, okay, I'm done with them. I'm done with that heartache. I'm done with that. And they're saying for some of you, it's indecisiveness, like that person, it would keep going back and forth to you and you to them. I'm done with that. I'm done with the wishy-washiness. I'm done with the indecisiveness. I'm done with the cheating. I'm done with that. I'm ready for a stable foundation. If you haven't released that, and we roll up into this new moon, and you're still holding on to that person, you're going to start another karmic cycle with them that you will be stuck in. And for some of you, unfortunately, it is going to close the window, because for some of you, you have a divine love on the horizon. You will be closing the window on that divine love because you are choosing to not let go of a lesson. And for some of you, you're older, so your hopes of having a family, you're going to not have the family that you desire either, because you're not letting go. Which is why they brought the exact same thing up again. But I picked up all the cards because I thought, no, we're not going to do the exact same thing 3 weeks in a row. But for those of you that are in that situation, no joke, you are at the go time. It is literally detrimental that you let go now, because there's so much that is hinging off of it. So those of you in that situation, if you need to go back and refresh your memory, go for it. For those of you that are new to the channel, go back and listen to the message the past 2 weeks. Similar message, a little bit of nuances and differences, and a little bit of additional bits of information in the 2 different weeks. Same story though. It was the exact same story that they brought up again for this week, the 24th through the 30th. So listen to that and let that go. Okay, so after I pulled up those cards, I'm like, no, we cannot do this again. We can't do this again. So what we're going to do, instead of doing where they hone in on one situation, we are going to do 3 separate situations. We have the situation, we have what is blocking you, what are you unaware of or you don't know, and what is it that they recommend you do. For those of you that are curious about the cards, this first row, we have Doreen Virtue's Archangel Power Tarot. Then these next 2, we have her Fairy Tarot cards, and actually she does these in conjunction with Radley Valentine. And then the last row of cards, we have the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lynn, and we will be pulling Angel Answer cards for everyone at the end. So if there are any questions that you have that may not have been answered, we will pull those. And these. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first situation we have the card 8 of Raphael, and at the bottom, if you can read it, it says, there is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you, a spiritual quest. And this card is all about, you know, having evolved, having grown, having done that inward search, taken the time to do that, to discover what is it that we really want, that we really desire. It's also about, you know, finally leaving the past behind, embracing a new beginning, a new start. Knowing that the past experiences, even though they may have been painful, they were helpful. They were good. They helped you learn. They helped you grow. They helped you become a better you. Also, they helped you get clarity on what it is that you desire, what you want, what you don't want. And this is a card that talks about, you know, a change in interest, a change of things that we want, change in things that we desire. It speaks also of relocation or a change in relationships. So for a number of you, this is related to love. Archangel Raphael, he is the angel of healing. He is also the angel of love. And you see how it's like completely surrounded in green. Green is the color of the heart chakra. It's the color of healing. And see how she's almost like in it would appear almost like a wedding gown. So for a number of you, you are going through a divorce, or you are going through a breakup with someone you have had a long-standing romantic relationship. And you've been hesitant to leave that. You've been hesitant to move on. You see there's this pot of money, this pot of gold. So for a number of you, you've held on, you've stayed in that situation, you've not let your spouse, your partner go. You've remained loyal, and for a number, because of money. Because you're worried, well, how will I have the money to withstand, to care for myself, to provide for myself? You see how Archangel Raphael, he's standing on the other side of the bridge. He's beckoning her, calling her. No, it's time to leave that. It's time to leave that all behind. There's something better for you over here. Let it go. So for most of you, it is a breakup. It's a divorce. It's a breakup. For some, it could be breaking up a business partnership. And for some, it's a business partnership that's tied to love, romance. And for some, it does involve a relocation. It's actually physically moving away from this person that you're ending things with. But you're hesitant. Now, the thing that's blocking you, it's a major arcana, it's balance. At the bottom, if you can read that, it says, take everyone's input into consideration, manage viewpoints to create a better solution, take your time, there's no need to rush. Now in this deck, this card is all about, you know, compromise, being open to communicating, cooperating, coming into an agreement with others, taking their thoughts, their vantage point into consideration so that you can come to a win-win solution. It's also about letting our anxieties and our worries go. See how there's a lot of white? She's like white with fear. Because if you can come to an agreement, you can cooperate, you can come up with new creative solutions. It's also a card of like restraint. Now, that again, it's the card about, you know, what it is that's blocking you. So for those of you in situation one, you're not able to let that person go because you are in the midst of like a legal battle. You're not coming into agreement as to how you're going to split up the assets, how you're going to split the property, how you're going to, for some of you, childcare. You're refusing, for some of you, you're refusing to even have the conversations. You're avoiding the conversations. See how he's got like this is supposed to be like milk and water. It's talking about balancing your feminine, your masculine, your emotions with your actions. But see how like the lion's like spewing blood. An interesting thing, the new moon that we have is in Leo, which is the lion. So for some of you, you refuse to even talk to your ex, to your partner, because you're like, no, I've already spilt enough blood. I've already given enough blood and sweat to this. I refuse to give them a dime more. Or I refuse to even talk to them anymore. But there's a lot of anger because they're saying for some of you, it's almost like you're like, I'll be damned if I will do anything else for them. Because there's so much, for some of you, there's just a lot of anger and hatred that's involved in this breakup. But the thing is, they have something better for you. They're trying to take you somewhere else. So for some, they're trying to take you to a new love. For some of you, they're trying to remove you from having your finances bound up with this person. But they're trying to break you free of it. But you, refusing to have the conversation, refusing to end the ties with that person, are keeping yourself from moving forward. And for some of you, it's also balancing your emotions because you are so full of anger that you need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive them. You need to forgive the situation. Because then that will calm you down a bit so that you can have those final conversations and finally break things, split things up, and then be able to move on, walk across that bridge alone. Now, as far as what you're unaware of, you have another major arcana, and it is number 16, which is life experience. And at the bottom, if you can read it, it says, let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. And it's all about change. And change can be difficult, but it's not anything that we have to fear. Because for those of you going through this situation, it's a change. Like for some of you, you've been with this person for years. For some of you, it's been a very negative cycle with that person that you've been with for years. So you're having a hard time letting that go. But it's good, it's positive. They're trying to bring you to something better. They're trying to bring you new opportunities. And it's also a card that says, that you do have new opportunities coming your way. They are meant to enrich your life. They are meant to fulfill you. They are meant to make you happy. But you have to allow them. Because God, angels, they're giving you a lot of signs. They're trying to lead you toward what will be uplifting, what will make your soul sing and soar, and what will make you happy. The situation that you're leaving behind is not going to fulfill you. And this card speaks about really looking at that, keeping your eyes on the future. What is it that you need to do to prepare for this? What is it that you need to do to transition into this? Seeing that it is time for a change, and it's a significant change. It's huge. It's also about wake-up calls, really finally seeing the truth. See how there's like these sheep roaming around there? Some of you feel like you're an innocent sheep in this situation. You feel like you have been like hurted for like slaughter because there's been so much manipulation and deceit. And for some of you, what you're unaware of is you're about to receive some more information, some more truth about wrongdoing toward you in the midst of this split up, this divorce, this breakup. And you see how there's these butterflies all around them? And the butterflies are a mixture of orange and red and yellow. And even the sky's a mixture of gray and red and yellow. Those would be your first 3 chakras. And your first 3 chakras are tied to money, to foundation, to sex, to intimate relationships. But also the yellow, it's tied to your ability to create something. And butterflies represent, transformation. And you have all these butterflies. They have been trying to transform your situation. And not transform. Okay, so they're saying not transforming the situation with the person you're to leave behind. So for some of you, you've continued stuck to that person despite them trying to have both of you move on. Have you learned that this was simply a lesson? You were to learn from that relationship that the two of you had, and you were to move forward, move on. But you've held on. For some of you, you're still not, you're not together. You are in the midst of the legal proceedings to break up, to divorce. Because like for some of you, you're not even married, but you have assets, you have money together. It could be property, it could be investments, it could be a business. Financial ties to each other that are in the midst of breaking up. But some of you, you're still kind of hoping maybe things will turn around. Maybe it'll shift, maybe it'll change. Because they're saying, like, for some of you, you jumped into another relationship to make your ex jealous. So for some of you, you found out that they were cheating on you. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll show them. I'll jump into this rebound relationship, and then they'll just really want me back. That's not going to happen. Now, for some of you, what's not known is for some of you, so for some of you, say it was, so say you're, with keeping with our story the past 2 weeks, you're a man, you ended it with a woman, with your wife, with your ex-girlfriend. she's not into men anymore. She's into women now. So the attempt to make her jealous and come back is not going to work. But what you're unaware of, they're trying to transform your life. They're trying to help you break free. It was simply a life lesson. It was simply something for you to learn, to grow from, to evolve from. And it's time to let it go. Now, for some of you, the next card we have, you see how they both have like this smoke billowing? So for some of you, things are about to go up in smoke, and you're not even aware of it, because there are some other things and secrets that you have not been sharing with you. So it's about to go up in smoke, because they're saying for some of you, you have refused to even talk to the person because you've been so angry or you've been so hurt. You know, they broke your heart. You thought this was going to be love of a lifetime. You thought you were going to work things out. You've given thousands and thousands of dollars. You've invested everything that you've had with this person, and it's falling, and it has fallen apart. But because you've refused to have those conversations with the person, because you've refused to, because again, this is what's blocking you, because you've refused to sit down, even have a mediator, have an attorney involved. You've not wanted to have those conversations at all. You've been completely dodging and avoiding it. Because you have done that, it's about to go up in flames and smoke, because that person, because there has been so much anger, has been doing some things behind your back. So for some of you, you're going to walk away truly with zero money. Because for some of you, this is an illegal system. It is a legal matter. So for some of you, they're going to totally rip you off. They're going to get a huge settlement of all the assets that are being broken up. They may get all of the assets. For some of you, that there are children involved, they may get full custody, all the properties, all the money, all the assets, and leave you with nothing, because you have refused to have those conversations. Because you have refused to come to the table and finally close that chapter. Finally finish it off. Finally be done with it. Which is interesting. You know how now 3 weeks in a row, because again, today's reading was actually supposed to be the exact same as the last 2 weeks, but I stopped after doing a lengthy recording because I wanted to give you some other information. So for some of you, this is very well the reason why. You are about to get the very short stick in this deal, and this finally dissolving this relationship, splitting up the assets, finishing off the divorce, because you've refused to deal with it. Because for a number of you, you are at a distance. You're not even near each other, but you've refused to talk, you've refused to call, you've refused to have your attorneys. They're saying for some of you, you have just buried your head in the sand. And for some of you, you've turned to drinking, partying, relationships with other people, rebound relationships, one-night stands, but you have done anything and everything to avoid dealing with this. And because of that, it's about to go up in smoke. So hopefully you can come to the table and come to an agreement, because for some of you, it's not going to work out in your favor. But that's going to be your final wake-up call. So for those of you in that situation, because they're saying for those of you in that situation, you are the people that they've been trying to talk to the past 2 weeks, and you have refused to listen to them. Archangel Michael's saying you have stubbornly refused to hear and listen to them, and since you have stubbornly refused, the time has come now for them to just tear it all down, and it won't be in your favor. But to have hope, because all's not lost. If you can catch this message at the 11th hour and ask for them to help you and bail you out, they will do that. But you're going to have a lot of work, and you're going to have to move. For some of you, you're going to have to move quickly, because some legal decision is about to be made. And since you haven't been at the table the whole time, at this point, it's not in your favor. But they will help you. You have to ask for their help, and you have to listen to what because for those of you in the situation, they are saying that they have been bombarding and blasting you with signs for months that you have ignored. you have to listen to the signs and the messages they're giving you. You have to take the actions that they're guiding you to take. And for some of you, you have to let some other people go, some things go, some activities that you're doing let go, because you have to focus on what's important. And right now, what's important for you is to set yourself free of this. Which is why what they recommend you do is simplify your life. And at the bottom it says, I cherish the simple pleasures of life. And this card is, hopefully you guys can see it with no glare. It's really all about focusing on what's important, what matters, letting go of everything else. You know, really taking a look at your life, clearing out all internal clutter, all external clutter. Because if you can clear away all the clutter and really take the time to focus on what it is that matters, you'll see that you'll have a remarkable transformation. That things won't go up in smoke and you won't be left in the poorhouse. That things will actually end on a balanced note. And it's also about, you know, doing the things that matter and releasing the things that don't. So for some of you that, because you've done everything to avoid dealing with your ex, and we're called ex because for most of you it is an ex. Even if you have like business together and assets and property together, it's the reason you got yourself involved in business with them is because there was this romantic piece to it. But what you need to do now, so for those of you that jumped into a rebound relationship, they're saying even though you've been acting like it's good and it's going well, it's not been going well. But they're saying it's been eating up a lot of your time. They're like pointing out this clock. So for some of you, you know, you jumped into another relationship with someone because you didn't want to have to think about the ex, but you're really not into that relationship. They're really not the one. I mean, you've been enjoying some activities and fun and being able to take your mind off the breakup and the situation, but you know they're not the right one for you. Meanwhile, they're wanting a lot of your time. Some of you, they're saying that they're getting angry and upset because you're not giving them all the time, because you're not all in. You need to clear them away too. Because they're pulling your time, they're pulling your energy, they're pulling you from, at this point, what matters. And what matters for those of you in the situation right now, like it's big, it's huge, it's your livelihood. For some of you, it really, you've invested a lot of money in like property and business, and you could lose it all. You really could lose it all. So that person that's sucking all your time because they were a great little decoy to get your mind off of everything that was going on, it's time to get rid of that so you can focus on what matters, so you can have a clean break and actually come out getting what's owed to you, what's fair, what's balanced in this splitting, this parting of ways, this divorce. And for some of you, also just clearing out the clutter in your mind. For some of you, clearing also out activities that you've been doing to keep your mind off it. So maybe it wasn't a rebound. For some of you, it could be drinking, partying. It's time to stop that as well, to focus on the task at hand. And for some of you, they're also just saying it's also time to like clear out their physical. So maybe you still have some of their clothing or their belongings. It's time to get rid of that stuff. If they're not going to pick it up, or for some of you, they're saying it's almost like you live on different sides of the country, or you're at a distance, take their stuff to Goodwill. If they're not going to pick it up, they can't get it. It's time to clear, they're saying it's time to clear that energy. It's time to fully close that chapter, clear that energy, remove anything and everything, all ties and connections to them, and removing everything that's keeping you from taking care of business. Because at this moment, you do have to take care of business. That is why, for those of you in this situation, they have brought this story up 3 weeks in a row. Because they don't want to see you moving to your new beginning without a penny. And for some of you, you are at a possible outcome of that at this point, because you've not heeded the messages and the warnings they've been giving you. So, don't want to sound as dire as it is. It is very dire. It is. But anything and everything is possible with God. And you have an entire team here to help you. They have been surrounding you, for many of you, for months. So for some of you, this has been going on since like the holidays. Accept their help. Accept those signs. Accept those actions, those things that they're trying to get you to do. And do those things. And ask for them to help you with this. They're saying for some of you that you need to ask for them to quickly turn around in your favor. and to have it be fair for everyone involved. And for some of you, you do have to ask, like, use this last bit of full moon energy to release that anger and that hatred, because for a number of you, again, you have not wanted to go to the table because you just, for some of you, it's almost like you can't even stand the person at this point, because it has been really ugly. You've been through a lot with this person. The lesson, a number of you are saying the lesson, you realize, okay, that's not the right person. But it's time to close it. It's time to wrap that up. Okay, so people in situation 2. Your situation, it's also a major arcana. It's 15, it's decision. And at the bottom, if you can read it, it says, release yourself from that which holds you back. I need to detox unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. And this is all about breaking yourself free of everything that's holding you back, releasing any feelings that you have of helplessness or fear or worry or doubt that are causing you to feel as though you're entrapped, you're stuck in a prison. Because if you can see in this card, there's this bird that she has in this cage. But if you see, the bird is not caged. The door's open. The bird can fly out at any moment and be with all the other birds. So he's just keeping himself stuck in there. No one is keeping him in there. So for those of you in this situation, you are feeling stuck. You are feeling as though you can't move forward in life. You're feeling as though you're hindered. But that is something that you have created. No one else has created it. It is your thoughts. It is your beliefs that are keeping you stuck and chained to that. In traditional tarot, this would be the Devil card. And in that card, it shows 2 people that are bound and chained to the devil. So for some of you, you just feel like you're stuck in a hellacious situation. You feel like you can't move forward. You feel like you can't make progress. You feel like you can't break free. But all this negative thinking and these doubts and this worry that you have is the very thing that's keeping you stuck. Because at any point, you can change your mind, you can open your eyes and realize you're not stuck at all. You're not at all stuck. But it is a decision that you have to make. You have to decide to set yourself free. You have to decide, okay, I'm done being in this miserable place. I'm ready to move forward. And it really is making that decision, shifting your thoughts. Because for those of you in this situation, your thoughts have been very, very negative. They've been in a very negative, Debbie Downer, woe is me state. I have no control. I can't do anything. I can't get out of this. But you can. And it does take shifting those thoughts, and it does take making a decision to break yourself free of that. And it's funny because as far as what's blocking you from breaking free, you have the 8 of Summer. And at the bottom it says, the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on, choosing to make major life changes. And this is all about making a decision to leave a situation behind that is not in your highest good. It's not an easy choice to make. It's not an easy decision to make, but it is a turning point. This card also talks about, there's more going on than what meets the eye. Like there's things you're not aware of. But you see this fairy, she has her back turned. She's got her bag packed, and she's got 2 bags packed. She's like, you know what? I'm taking it all. I'm done for good. I'm out. I'm done. I'm moving on to greener pastures. I'm moving on to light. I'm moving on to happiness. I want the light at the end of the tunnel because the forest has been pretty dark and ugly and lonely. So what's blocking you is you not making the decision. You not moving yourself out of this situation. And it's a myriad of situations. For a large number, it is love related. But for some, it's like family. There's multiple people involved. It's family dynamics. It's almost like family business dynamics. Because you go into the next card as far as, what it is that you're unaware of, is 5 of Spring. And at the bottom, if you'll zoom in, despite the glare, opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious people. And this card's all about, life is challenging, particularly if you're in competition with others. other people that can be confrontational, argumentative, they're battling you, they're fighting you. But it talks about, changing things, finding a way that you can get rid of the drama in order to come up with solutions, resolutions. Instead of getting bothered by all the little things that are driving you just absolutely crazy. Instead, letting that go, knowing that, okay, that in the big scheme of things, the big picture doesn't really matter. It also talks about, opportunities for growth. But a big part of it is, it's opposing views. It's people wanting two different things, different opinions. Also people that are overly ambitious, or they're just, out for themselves. You see how, they're doing battle with each other. And similar thing to that card, there's all these butterflies for transformation. So for those of you in this situation, same thing, they are trying, what you're unaware of is that they are trying to transform your life. They're trying to transform your life for the better. Now for some of you, it's tied to, see how he's like submerged a little bit? He's got the water clear up to his knee. So for some of you, it's allowing yourself to feel the emotions regarding this decision. Because for some of you, you've not wanted to see the truth, you've not wanted to feel the emotions. For some of you, you've not wanted to communicate the truth, because those butterflies are blue, and blue is all about communication. So you've not wanted to communicate how this situation makes you feel. Some of you, it's as though you feel like, you're being ganged up on. But this is number 5, and 5 is all about change. So what you're unaware of, it's time for you to walk away from this situation. So for some of you, they're saying for some of you, it's almost as though you could have gotten yourself involved in a family business with with an ex-lover, an ex-spouse. But it's their family, and you keep sacrificing everything that you have for them, and you haven't allowed yourself to break free of that situation and to start caring and taking care of yourself. You've just kept yourself trapped for them. Like, these are roses. Roses are thorny. You keep getting cut up by all the thorns. You keep thinking, okay, well, I will do for them, I will take for them. Meanwhile, all they're doing is just beating you to smithereens. Oh, that's why they're saying, okay, so a number of you in this situation, you have closed off your emotions. You have not communicated your emotions. You have not communicated your needs. You have not communicated that this is not working for you any longer. And you have not made the decision to break yourself free. For some of you, you feel as though you've been stuck because there's this family connection. This is what you've done for years. But it's time. The recommendation of what you do is cherishing self. And this is, again, the recommendation of what you do. And it has, I accept and love myself. And this card is about, finally putting your needs first, putting your needs above the needs of others and above the expectations that others have of you. Really putting yourself first, doing things for you. It's got gift in there, roses, so for some, take yourself to dinner, buy yourself flowers, treat yourself, get some wine, get some champagne, get some truffles. But treat yourself how you treat, because they're saying that you do everything for the others, you don't do anything for yourself. Because those in a situation, you are remarkable. You're wonderful. You assist them. You're a very caring person, a very nurturing person. You're the one that they go to when they need things figured out, they need things taken care of, they need things fixed, they need a shoulder to cry on, a strong arm to fix things. But you're able to do that. But you never do for yourself. And now your cup is completely empty. You have nothing to give. And in order for us to give to others and help others, you know, we can't do that if we have given everything, if our cup is empty. But when our cup is full, or when our cup is half full, we're able to assist other people. We're able to give to them. We're able to share with them. But those of you in situation 2, you have given your all to a person or a number of people. Could be a romantic relationship, could be a business, could be a family. But I get for a sense for a number of you that this is like a family business. It's not like it's your family. It's like maybe it was like a best friend and you got involved with their family business and you've been the anchor in the rock for that whole family. But I get for some of you it's because that link that got you involved with them was a romance, a relationship with that person. See how she's like just kind of like torn and tattered? Her skirt, everything's all ragged and a little bit dirty. You've given everything to this situation. You are now at a pivotal point of making the decision to break yourself free of that, breaking those chains. For some of you, you have been bound to the devil. So for some of you, this person that pulled you in, there was a lot of lying, a lot of deception. For some of you, it was that you were being used for what you could provide for them. You've now drained your cup. It is time for you to do for you. It is time for you to think and to share what it is that you desire. Because for those of you in this situation, it has been a battle for a long time, but something is about to occur where you are going to have the opportunity to change things, to communicate what it is that you desire. You're going to have an opportunity to finally break free of this situation. Communication is huge. They're saying communication is a pivotal thing because you have not communicated your needs. You have not communicated that this isn't working. You have not communicated that you're not happy. You have not communicated that you don't want to do this anymore. You have stuffed it all down for the good of the group. But it's time to stop doing for the good of the group. It's time to start doing for you. Because they're all off happy flying and you have been stuck and chained and bound for a very long time in misery. But you are about to break yourself free. Now, in order to do that, you are going to need to speak up for yourself. And to speak up for yourself is, the reason they're saying cherishing self is because you need to know that you do deserve better. You do deserve to break free of this. You do deserve to make that decision to move on. You do deserve to make the decision to let this go because it is not working for you. It is not helping you. It's hindering you. And they'll help you. So, again, ask God and the angels for help. Angels won't step in to help you. Some of you, you are going to need to ask Archangel Michael to give you the strength and the courage to have that conversation because it's not going to be an easy conversation. Ask Archangel Gabriel to help you with the actual conversation, to help you find the words, to be able to clearly communicate your needs and your decision. And they'll help you with that. Okay, now, last, we have 10 of Ariel, and at the bottom it says there is so very much to be grateful for: financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. And this card is really about having it all, like having so much to be grateful for, you know, huge financial success, no longer need to worry about money, that, you know, there's a total richness to your living. You see how they're like sitting in Paris, they're enjoying coffee, they're just relaxing in the middle of the week, no worries in the world. But for a number of you, you're on the cusp of this. It can also speak about, you know, your family life becoming one of the greatest blessings in your life. You know, your family can be your family that you're born with. It can also be a chosen family. Also can be, of course, chosen family, your marriage, spouse. But it is truly happily ever after. Now, okay. This is what's blocking you from this. So for some of you, you could be coming up on retirement. But But a lot of it is, it's family, it's home, it's enjoying life after a time of a lot of work. Now, as far as what's blocking you, have 6 of Spring. And at the bottom, it says wonderful news. I don't know if you guys can see that. Wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success, and public recognition. And this is all about, receiving congratulations for a job well done. Really basking in the glow of your accomplishments. See how she's writing in there, very proud. She has this glow about her. Letting people see the wonderful things that you've done, that you've created, that you have built. Being visible, also being vocal about your beliefs. It does speak again, wonderful news is headed your way. Success. Now this is supposed to be the card is, what is blocking you? You have all this beautiful, you have 10 of Ariel. It's beautiful. But what's blocking you at this point from, because this is about to manifest, it's about to burst. It's about to burst open. You're on the cusp of this, and you have been through a lot to have this. What's blocking you is that you're not seeing the rewards yet. You put in a lot of work. You've put in a lot of work. See how it's dark around her? She's surrounded by dark. She's got these little fireflies. She's glowing. She's on this magical unicorn. You're feeling, for some of you, you're still feeling kind of like in the dark. Kind of like, okay, I've done all this. I thought I was going to be receiving this, but I haven't. So maybe I'm not meant to have that. And for a number of you, that's been like also spiritually awakened. It's been tied to your spiritual journey, your spiritual growth. You've had to let things go. You've had to make huge changes, career changes, family. You've had to change, relocate, change careers. You've had to let friends go. You've had a complete and utter transformation of your life. But you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I've been through all that. I mean, I'm feeling pretty and fancy. Look how adorned the horse is. Or unicorn, rather. And she is as well. She's dressed in finery. You have done all this. You have stepped into being the queen. But you're feeling like, okay, well, I'm still by myself. I still don't have a king here beside me. And I'm still surrounded by darkness. And where's the light at the end of the tunnel? Why have I put in all this work and time and effort and I'm not seeing anything? That's what's blocking you. Because since you've been working so hard and diligently for a very long time, for some of you it's been years, trying to manifest and create this life that you desire, and you've had your life topsy-turvy, totally changed and shifted. You've embraced that because you knew what was to come, complete happiness and bliss and all the things that you desire. You're on the cusp of it. They're trying to bring that to you, but you have now lapsed into some negative thinking and fears and worry that, okay, well, it's not going to happen, and I'm still alone, and I'm feeling in the dark, and I'm feeling isolated, and I don't even feel like I'm seeing clearly, because you see the fireflies are in all different directions. They're all around her. It's not like she's seen some big spotlight leading and guiding her that way. But she is walking directly into that. She is walking directly into the happily ever after. Success after a very long time. She's just not seeing it. So for those of you in situation 3, you're about to receive those things. And for a number of you, you are highly intuitive. You have received information that, okay, yes, this is the love of a lifetime you're heading to. Yes, you're heading toward marriage. You are going to find your king. You're not going to be alone. Or yes, you are going to find financial success. This is the career. Yes, leave that company behind because you're going to find something better. You've been following that guidance, but you've been feeling like maybe I took the wrong turn. Maybe that fork in the road 89 miles back, I went in the wrong direction. You have not gone in the wrong direction. Do not abort your plan. Do not abort the things that you have worked so hard and diligently toward. And for some of you, you need to use this final releasing opportunity, because for some of you, there's some frustration you need to let go of. And there's also some anger at, oh my gosh, have you given up on me, God? Have you given up on me, angels? Because I have given everything I have to creating this and it's still not here. So there's some frustration and anger with that. Use this final bit of time before we get into this new moon to release that. Let that go. Remember and know that you do have beautiful things on the cusp. These things are about to happen. They are about to transpire. Typically, it's at the very last moment. It's like at the 11th hour, right when someone's about to have something happen, that they, especially when it's been a long, tedious journey, that they will just give up. Don't give up. And also, it's time to shift your thoughts back to something that's optimistic, because some of you, there's been divine timing at play, because this is big. I mean, for some of you, they're bringing the love of a lifetime, this family that you've desired, everything that you desire, also financial freedom and the ability to enjoy life again, and not have to constantly work nonstop. They have everything that you desire. You are on the cusp of it. You have manifested it. But because you are so worried that it's not going to happen, you're like wanting to jump ship, you're doubting, you're fearing, you're worrying, you think, oh my gosh, I messed up, I chose wrong, oh, I screwed up, where did I go wrong? You need to shift your thoughts, because you're now energetically blocking yourself. Even though they're saying for most of you, there's still some divine timing aspects that are still falling, pieces of the puzzle that are still falling in place. But you need to change your thoughts, because if you don't, when the divine timing of these other things is in place, you are going to cause further delays, because you're now in a state of worry and also a state of lack. Because again, see how she's by herself, because so for a number of you, you've been trying to manifest a divine love of a lifetime, and you're like, oh, I'm going to throw in the towel on that. Don't throw the towel in on that. Don't give up on that. Shift yourself back to optimism, of knowing, of having the confidence that, yeah, I am about to receive my reward. Praise God, after all this work, it is coming in, because it is. You need to shift your perspective from the dark back to the light. See how she's glowing with light? You are the light. You are about to receive those things. You need to shift back into that. So you don't, because for some of you, you're going to cause yourself some additional delays that aren't necessary, because you're in this woe is me state. It's time to shift out of the woe is me state. Now, as far as what you are unaware of, you have the Strength card. It is a major arcana. It's number 11. And at the bottom, it says, the grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness. Time to embrace how wonderful you are. And this card in her deck, it's really all about the golden rule. You know, let's treat others how we would like to be treated. And always having love and kindness and respect toward others. Because by doing that, you know, we are then a pillar of strength for them. We can assist them. Also, it speaks about, you know, because it is about strength, it's about having the strength to stick with your convictions, stick to the things that you believe in, stick and stand up for yourself. Now, doing so in a loving manner. You see how she has a sheep and a lion there? That's all about, you know, the lion and the lamb, having strength, but also having gentleness. Being able to stand up for ourselves and stand up for others, while also doing so in a loving, kind manner. And to not be afraid to stand up for ourselves. It's also about the power of forgiveness, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, having patience with those around us, believing in ourselves. Okay. It's a number 11. 1111. Typically it's because they're trying to get your attention. Sometimes they do that because they're trying to get your attention and trying to change your perspective, change your thoughts from the negative to the optimistic. So for some of you, which you're unaware of, it's time to shift your thoughts and your perspective out of this state of woe is me, these things that I want, I still don't have, I'm lacking it, back to a state of optimism, knowing it's going to happen, believing in those things. having the strength to ride out this last bit of the storm. You see how she has an infinity symbol on her forehead? So for a number of you, this is tied to a divine love. It is tied to a twin flame love. For those of you that are twin flames, there was a comment that I had removed. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before about giving up. For most relationships, that's not the case. When it comes to twin flames are not to give up on their twin. Now, do they have to let go of expectations? Yes. Do they have to let go of, especially if they're early on in that process of the wondering what they're doing and following up and looking for them? Yes, they have to let all of that codependent type behavior go, because at that point, you're not loving yourself. When you love yourself, then you'll come into union. But they don't let go of their twin, because twins are destined. 8 is the infinity symbol. It's eternal love. She has that mark on her forehead. So for those of you that this is a twin flame and you've been doing all these things, just waiting for things to come together, it is going to come together. But it has taken a lot of strength. But it is your strength that is going to get you. It is your strength to persevere. It is your strength to continue to hang in there when everything seems bleak. Because twin flames are not to give up. And although every situation is different, there are some twins out there that are and have been able to have other relationships, but it's very limited. It's a very small number. Because what happens with twin flames is if they jump into another relationship, number one, they are delaying their spiritual awakening. They are delaying the work that they need to do. Because when it comes to twin flames, the process varies a little bit, but typically, the standard typically is the feminine awakens, she'll go through all this state of longing and everything. Eventually she'll get to the point that she lets go of that, lets go of the expectations, starts to fully focus on her healing, her awakening, starting to do her spiritual work. She will feel alone while she's doing that, but she focuses on her, having fun also having fun again, enjoying life again, because life is meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's not meant to be miserable. But getting back into a state of enjoying life, focusing on her, loving her, doing her mission, and then they come into union. Once because the divine has to take care of some healing with the masculine and put some final puzzle pieces together in divine timing. But in the meantime, all she's supposed to do is just focus on her. What happens with twin flames that get to a state of giving up? They're like, okay, I give up. What happens is they stop doing their own healing work. They stop doing their spiritual work that's supposed to help others. The reason twins come together, this is also strength of helping others. The reason twins come together is because they are here to help humanity. They are here to come together to help humanity. So if you're not focused on helping other people, it delays the coming into union, and it delays the mission that the two of you are supposed to have. So you are meant to come together. That is what you are destined for. That's what you are marked for. But it is a long journey. And it does take time, but you don't just throw in the towel on that. For twin flames, now, keep in mind, these messages are specific just for twin flames. They are not for anyone else, and there are very few true twin flames. So just be warned with that. Not saying to stay in an abusive relationship. Twin flames don't abuse each other. There are a number of things. Twin flames don't get angry and hateful toward each other. Twin flames don't do that to each other. So for those of you that are in those types of relationships, these are not for you. That is not to hang on to. That is not to hold on to. These messages are truly for twin flames. Twin flames are not to give up on each other. They're not to also just give up on the journey, because what happens when they're just going to give up, they're not doing their work. They're not doing their spiritual work. They're not doing their healing. They're not doing what they're here to do, so then they won't come in union. And then if they do jump into a relationship with someone else, now they're creating more karma. And by karma, these are more connections that you're going to have to end. More ties that you're going to have to end, things that you're going to have to heal and resolve in order to come into union, in order to do the things that you're to do. So what you are unaware of, what is unknown to you, you just need to stay strong a little bit longer. You need to persevere a little bit longer for those of you that are twins. And for the rest of you, they're also saying in your situation where you're just on the cusp of having everything that you desire, remain in a state of strength. Remain in a state of perseverance. They're also saying don't snap, because for some of you, you're at the point that you're just so frustrated because it's taken so long. You're very impatient. Don't make any abrupt, rash decisions, nor any comments and hurtful things toward other people. For those of you who know how they were saying early on that some of you are really getting frustrated that this has been taking so long, and you think that God's given up, and you're like, oh my gosh, how could you do this? Because you're getting a little anger with God and the angels thinking they've abandoned you. Let that go. Use this time. Let that go. They are helping you. It's just been a matter of timing. For some of you, there is something tied to forgiving. So for some of you, it's forgiving other people that you think have caused delays, or other people that have. So for some of you, a relationship, maybe forgiving an ex, forgiving the person that hurt you. For some of you, it could be inner child forgiveness and healing that needs to occur. For some of you, again, forgiving God, forgiving the angels, not being angry. And for others, what you're unaware of is that your ability to persevere, your ability to shine light, to shine love, to be a beacon for others, is what's leading to this gift, this blessing, this freedom, this happiness, this bliss, these very things that you've desired and that you've wanted. Just hang in there. You're almost there. Now, as far as what they are recommending, you have the card Exceeding Expectations. And at the bottom it says, I soar into excellence. And see if I can get that without a glare. And this card is all about, stretching out. It's time to dream big and stretch ourselves and exceed our expectations, exceed the expectations of others, to know that we are going to have sure success, and envisioning that, knowing that, believing that. But see how her arms are like open up? She's like standing on top of the world. She's standing on top of everything. The world is there. But her arms are open. So for most of you in situation 3, things are about to fall into place rapidly. So for those of you that have been working hard for months and years to bring this to fruition, and it could be a love of a lifetime. For a number of you, it is a divine love. For some of you, it is a twin flame love. For some of you, it's even bringing the business, the career that you've just desired, that would give you the financial freedom. But you are on the cusp of it. You are on the cusp. But you have been working so hard and so long on it. And the way it's going to come about is going to exceed your expectations. And you are going to be receiving some things additionally that you weren't expecting, that are going to, again, exceed your expectations. But what you need to do is you need to open your arms to receive it. And the way that you're going to open your arms to receive it is come back to a state of faith, come back to a state of optimism. Some of you might have to wait just a little bit longer, but to know that that's okay and have the strength for that, because to know that God is bringing you some huge blessings. She's on top of the world. But these things take time. These things take time. They don't happen overnight. Because for those of you in situation 3, this isn't something little. You're not just getting a new car. You're just getting a new house. You're getting a big shebang. You're getting all of it with a massive bow. All of your hopes and dreams are about to come true. But it takes time. Divine timing has been at play. And for some, you may have to wait. So for some of you, it's not going to happen. Now, for some, you may have it happen this week. But I get for some of you, it's still going to take a couple more weeks. For some of you, it may take a couple more months. I do get for most of you, though, it's about to happen within the next few weeks. For many of you. But even for the next few weeks, because some of you are so impatient and frustrated, you have to let that frustration go. You've got to let it go. You've got to change your thoughts. You need to get back to a place of optimism. You need to get back to a place of faith, trust, confidence, opening those arms wide so you can receive all these blessings that God is bringing to you, because they are on their way. They are imminent. You just need to sit back and wait for it. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull some angel answer cards. So for all of you, remembering what situation you're in, we are going to start, and I will pull one for all of them, and then I will read the book. So if you are in situation 1, go ahead and think of a question, something that may not have been answered yet. You have your question. Okay, you have forgiveness, and I'll hold these up and read them in one at a time. Situation 2, think of your question, and you have get more information. And then last 10 of Ariel, you have success. So let me get the book. We'll read these real quick. Okay. Okay. Forgiveness. People in situation 1. I'll hold it up so you can see the graphics. Forgiveness can work miracles. When you release the past, a weight is lifted off your shoulders, and a sense of freedom washes over you. Ask your angels to help you let go of sadness or pain caused by others so that you can be free. This card can also refer to a need for self-forgiveness. It's time to let go of any guilt you are holding on to regarding past mistakes you may have made. Give yourself credit for having tried your best, even if the results weren't what you would have liked. Focus on the changes you've made since then that have made you a better person. Okay. Now, situation 2 is get more information. Hold up so you can see the graphics. Okay, the situation you're asking about requires more information in order for you to make a wise decision. Approach those knowledgeable about the topic to solicit their advice. If there are friends or family members in your midst who have insight into the matter, ask for their observations. You may need to do some analytical research in order to get the data you need. This could include reading books, taking classes or seminars, or gathering information from the internet. And the last is success. Situation 3. Now see, that's beautiful. See, isn't that worth waiting it out a little bit? Chilling out just a little bit. Let's see if I get those no glare. There we go. Okay. Success. Congratulations, you are on the road to success. You needn't have any reservations about your situation, as it's going to work out beautifully. Part of living a successful life is taking care of yourself. It's wonderful to have many things to be grateful for, but make sure you don't wear yourself down by working too hard. Take time to enjoy peace in your life. Okay, so hopefully that helped everyone. I do wish you all an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings. And I do also wish you the best with letting things go and doing your manifestation on this new moon. And also wish you the best as you write out these energies, these little energetic currents that are getting us all to this place. So wishing you again a week filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings. I'll talk with you again soon.